Hello and welcome to this week's edition of What's in My Car. All right, I've had two CDs in my car. One was Astral Weeks, which I was planned to do the video about, but that has instead created another parallel video called The Worst Album in Music History. So if you want to pop over and see that. The other album that I've had on, which has been giving me solace. So when I couldn't take Astral Weeks anymore, I would then go back to this album. And it's still in there on CD. I also have it on vinyl. I pulled the lovely vinyl out. It is the incredible Amigo by Santana, or AMIGOS, or Amigo, I don't know. This is one of the greatest albums ever made, and I want to talk about a whole video just on how bloody brilliant this album is. This is my favourite Santana album. This is the one where everything comes together. This is the best album by Santana. It's not Caravanserai, it's not Welcome, it's not even Lotus, and those albums are amazing. They're like amazing. It's not even Love, Devotion and Surrender that you made with John McLaughlin. I love these albums, but this one is incredible. Santana start off with this sort of hippie San Francisco blues band with a ton of Latin American influences in there. It's incredible. Their first album is groundbreaking. Which is called Santana. Then they up the ante with the Braxis. Absolutely mind-blowing. And then they up the ante again with Santana 3. Those three albums are incredible, and they explore this idea of Latin rock better than anybody. And then suddenly, Carlos Santana is on a voyage into music, and he moves from listening to Albert King and B.B. King, and he moves to Coltrane and Miles Davis, and that element comes in. This band have a huge following at this point. They're one of the biggest bands in the world due to their appearance on Woodstock in 1969, where they do Soul Sacrifice, and the incredible Mike Shreve does that drum solo. This is one of the great moments in rock music history and rock on film. It's up there with Hendrix played Star Spangled Banner or burning his guitar, on a Monterey and all that type of stuff. So anyway, they then make a trio of albums, Caravanserai, Welcome, and Borboleta, and a triple live album called Lotus. For jazz fusion fans, these are essential albums, and they are absolutely incredible. And I know the people who watch this channel are now shouting, no, Caravanserai is the best, Caravanserai is the best. Yeah, but then as we exit the period in the early 70s where jazz fusion was no longer commercially viable, and the record companies start to turn around and say, you can't make any more of this weird jazz anymore, you've got to start writing some hit records. Some bands make that traverse really well, and some of them not so well. Santana seemed to seamlessly move from this jazz thing to this funky disco thing that everyone's trying to do. And the crossover, I think, happens with this album that was made in 1976. I have the whole thing with the beautiful inside. I hope you can see it. Right, there it is. Beautiful. Right. Someone suggested that I do a video of albums where every single song is knockout. Well, that is what you have here. Now, it opens up with Dance Sister Dance. Now, Dance Sister Dance is one of my favourite songs ever. And when I put this CD on in the car, I have literally spent day after day just looping Dance Sister Dance over and over again. I absolutely love Dance Sister Dance, right? Now, this is Santana moving towards disco. It's a disco track, right? But when you listen to it and it opens up, the groove is incredible because there's no backbeat, right? There's no backbeat at all. It's not like a disco beat whatsoever. It's pure Latin American music, but it's not. It's funky and disco-y. You've got these, there's, who are the backing singers on it? Is it the Waters? Yeah, Maxine Waters, Julia Waters, Ivory Stone. So the cream of session backing singers on here. And that question and answer, they dance, sister, dance, do. And then Greg Waters, I love the way you move, I love to watch you dance. This is unbelievable when it kicks off. Yes, it's commercial, but when commercial music is good, it's like profound. It's so musical, it's so elevating. And then we get to this. This is one of these songs that's got two choruses. We've got the dance sister type, and then we got Baila, mi hermana, dance sister, baila, mana, me. And it's all question, that's all going back and forth. And this incredible groove that's set up with no backbeat. And it goes up. And then Santana comes in with his guitar solo. Santana, right? Carlos Santana is like Jimi Hendrix. He doesn't sound like Jimi Hendrix, he sounds like Carlos Santana, but he puts his soul into the note. This is what great musicians do. They put their soul, their very being, their connection with the infinite is put into each note. Right? I have friends who don't like Carlos Santana because he's not on the holes with it, he doesn't play like that. I absolutely love him. And he can play jazz fusion. He can sit there and play alongside John McLaughlin and never get overwhelmed by John McLaughlin because he's an absolute monster. And he comes in with this guitar solo and it's absolutely Carlos Santana, right? But he's actually holding back because he's a generous person. And just when this song has reached its peak, because this song is long, I think it's about 8 minutes long. Dance Sister Dance. Have we got timing on there? No. I think it's about 8 minutes long. And then suddenly the whole thing changes and it lifts off. And it goes into an area which I can only describe as Disco Hawkwind. And Tom Costa, the great Tom Costa, slowly comes in with this Moog solo. And he's not playing flurries, he's playing spatially. And this opens up and it gets up and up. And you feel like you're being uplifted. You feel like you're ascending to a greater place when you listen to this disco track. And it just builds up and up and up until finally, just at the peak, it hits these kicks. And you go, whoa, and then suddenly you go, you go, what the hell's happened now? And we go into the second track on here, which is Take Me With You. This has some heavy riffs. It's disco-y, but there's some heavy riffs. And this kicks into a heavy Santana riff, and it's all flying all over the place. You go, oh my God, where are we now? Santana has got this sort of proggy thing around this period. Right from Caravanserai, they like prog because each side seems to run to the other, like these big suites of music. Side one of Moonflower is incredible for this if you check it out. It's a live album, so it's partially live and partially studio. And you put it on and it just opens out and it starts off with very commercial Latin American music and ends up with flying jazz fusion. This does the opposite. After all this, we're in this new world, this of heaviness and the Santana screaming, the Hendrix stuff. It suddenly drops down, and then we go into this beautiful, slow sort of bossa nova, and just ticks over. It's like, whoa, you know, you've really been pummeled, right? And that runs to the end of the track. Take Me With You is brilliant. The vocals on here are incredible. Then it goes into what is perhaps the funkiest track ever made, called Let Me. And you hear these congas coming. And then this bass line. The drums. This is what happens when you can't play the music because you don't want to get demonetized. Right. And this funk track comes in. And Greg goes, let me, what am I going to let him do? Let me take you by the hand. I don't mind that, Greg, you can do that. And he's going to take me off to a wonderland. They've already done it. They've taken me off to a wonderland over and over again. Right, this track is so funky, and then it turns around the thing and it does this, it does that, absolutely incredible. And then Carlos kicks in with one of the greatest guitar solos ever recorded by anybody. And it's just screaming, and the tone, and it's just unbelievable. And we finish side one in this ecstatic peak. Side two can't be as good, can it? So we turn it over. Let's get the bloody thing out so you can see the actual thing. The thing. Life is about things. Without things, there's nothing. You have to have things and our relationship to things. So you turn it over onto, there's side one. Look, CBS, there we are. Look at that, and Action 1976. You turn it over onto side two, and it opens up with guitar now. Now, what's guitar now? It's like this mad flamenco track with all the guitar, these like a Spanish guitar, and this Spanish singing. What is this? And it's funky, and it's accessible, Absolutely incredible. The last thing you thought was going to happen. Santana is at absolute peak here, right? Okay, then it goes to Tell Me Are You Tired? Now, Tell Me Are You Tired is like one of the commercial songs on here. You know, this is one of the ones where they're going to try and have a hit record. You know, so it comes in, it's very smooth, electric piano, and it's all down. What you gonna do when it's bad and really funky, like an Earth, Wind and Fire ballad. But it's nice, and you think, yeah, but this intensity they've lost now, haven't they? And then suddenly the chorus comes and it goes, tell me how you're tired, tell me how you're tired. I'm not tired, I was tired, but I'm not now, Carlos. And you're up there, it's funky, and you think, oh, this is cool. Right, the track goes on. It's very commercial. You think there's a lot of stuff going on, but this is one of the commercial ones, isn't it? No, because in halfway through, they hit this electric piano solo and it soars off into extreme post-Coltrane. It's just all over the place. It doesn't go beyond the bounds of this track, but it just erupts. There's so many eruptions on this album, right? How can he top it? I tell you how he can top it, with Europa, the greatest guitar instrumental ever made, right? The guitar solo that launched 1,000 guitar players, including Steve Vai. Steve Vai adores Europa. Now, a lot of people like the Moonflower version because he plays a little bit more. But in terms of the actual sound and the control on this is not a virtuoso fest. It's not about that. It's about Carlos playing a tune. The really great guitarists, Hank Marvin, Jeff Beck, Carlos Santana, only a few of them can just play a tune, right? Carlos plays this tune, and there is one point when it reaches this peak and he hits one of those Carlos Santana's repeated things, and he opens up his wah-wah pedal for the first time, because the whole time it's been up. The wah-wah pedal's been up, so you got this sort of muffly, beautiful sound, and then he suddenly goes wham and just pushes it down like that, and the sound just for a few minutes opens up, right? Then we get to the last song, which is Let It Shine, which is like a gospel sing-along, right? And it's a great big final epic that you feel that you're going to go away singing for the rest of it. It's like it's a message of positivity. Carlos sells a message of positivity, right? This here, right, this little one here that I've had in the car this week so I can get through this 2 Astral weeks, this here is a masterpiece. That is what has been in my car this week. Not the album, obviously. Can't play albums in cars. But they did try, didn't they? So that is what is in my car this week. If you like this video, then what the hell's this? Oh, there's an additional sleeve in here. What have I got 2 sleeves for? Do you want to know a little fact about this album? Because I'm obsessed with this album. Right. I noticed now, my copy here, the actual cover's not printed that well. I've seen other copies where this is a lot better. So I'm not sure when this was pressed. But if you check out this album, up in the corner here where my finger is, can you see that? That is the first album. So I think the message was that Santana was returning to something here. It's also got the classic Santana writing on it. It's just, this is the Santana's best album. This is Carlos Santana's best album, without a doubt. Let's just give you a lineup who's on it. Devadip, Carlos Santana. He's got Sri Chimnoy's given name on this. Always the best Santanas. We've got Devadip. Tom Coster on keyboards. And Ndugu Leon. I think he's doing a bit of a session job. The great session drummer that played a lot with George Duke. He's on tail spinning. Fantastic drummer. I wonder whether Ndugu just kicks it into the funk. Armando Perazza, the legendary conga player that was in Santana's band. We've got David Brown on bass and Greg Water on lead vocals. That is the album. If you like this, then like it. Not this. You can like this, but if you like this video as well, like it, obviously, so you can like on it. Subscribe. And if you want to see support me, you can go to my Patreon. You can, if you go to my Patreon, you'll get all my extra posts, of which there's hundreds and hundreds, all sorts of videos, articles, all my albums, free downloads, you know, podcasts, all sorts of stuff, tons of stuff. You also will get access to, we haven't done one for a while, but we have the Patreon meet, where we all get together and we have a chat, and then that is recorded on Zoom and put into Patreon. But we also now have the Patreon WhatsApp, and what we've got is a whole ton of music fans who like frog, fusion, avant-garde stuff. And we've also got artists in there, they're sharing their music and they're sharing their different albums, they're chatting away. And that WhatsApp group is doing around about 250 messages an hour at the moment. So it's a wonderful place. I keep out of it. It's their WhatsApp. I'll chime in every now and then. But if you want to access all that, you can become a Patreon. If you don't want to pay, you can still become a patron and become a free member. This is a new thing. So you can become a free member, and I am trying to do some extra stuff for the free members when I can. So I think I've done a special video for them and a few other stuff. So you will get a few things. It won't be, you won't be just like the you know, the poor people at the party, you know, like that in Wuthering Heights when they go out. Then they go to that posh party and they're looking through the window, the poor waifs outside going, I wish we could go into the party. It won't be like that for the free members, right? And if you don't want to become a patron, but you still want to support me with a little donation, right, which I appreciate very well, which is why this video is looking so much nicer now than what I had in the past, and why you can hear it better and all that type of stuff. It's all the money that's coming in from the donations on my PayPal tip jar that's getting spent on all sorts of special stuff. Mainly stuff I want, like biscuits, you know, chocolate bars. What else have I spent it on? Gambling, loose women. What else have I spent it on? Oh, all sorts of things. I've been funding far-right organisations. All the normal things you would do. I've been, you know, running down the street, throwing cash in poor areas about, and then grabbing it all just because they had a bit of hope. All the things that people love to do when they've got cash. You know, what all the rich people do. This is all a joke. I haven't done anything with that money. What I've done is buy a new it's a new iPhone. That's what I've got here. I've got some lights, I've got microphones. I've been able to organise the what I'm doing in terms of being able to pay people to do bits and bobs and all that type of stuff. Anyway, support me. Just support me, please. All right, we're done. I'm going to finish there.